What's up, everybody? Welcome again to 48 Detailing. We're back in the shop to show you what's going on in the shop once again. It is May 17th. What's the date? 17th. So following week, we're picking it up. I know we didn't have too much content that first week, so I'm gonna show you what's going on. Let me bring you back here. Let's jump straight into it. Got three main projects today. We got the Camaro over here for a full body paint protection film application. We have the Ferrari over here. We're doing a full front side mirrors. We did windshield protection film to protect from those pesky chips and pitting and all that stuff. We're doing also two-step correction, private label for Modesta on the application for the ceramic coating, and then also our interior detail with full interior coating as well. Leather, fabrics, all that good stuff is gonna get taken care of. And then Ian is over there working on that Nissan GTR. It's a 2015 for a really great customer of ours. It's like the third car we've taken care of for him. Chris, shout out to Chris. He just picked this one up, getting it ready for a show, and then he's gonna be doing a full Damascus wrap on this later down the line, just to give it a bit more pop, a bit more specialization, customization, make it his. So that's gonna be a really, really cool project. Looking forward to seeing how that's gonna look. Ian, how you doing, my man? Ian's doing good. Ian's doing good. Correction going good? Correction going good? Cool, cool. Let's get back to the Ferrari real quick. I'll show you guys real quick an example of our chip protection film. This is called Dyno Flex from STEK. And as you can see, we still have a lot of excess on the edges that we're gonna trim off. We're just waiting for the edges to bond and then adhesive to dry out a little bit so we can make our cuts. But essentially, this film goes on top of your windshield and prevents all the chips and pitting and all that nastiness that occurs, especially here in Arizona in the rock and dust bowl that we live in. So I'm sure if you've been in Arizona for even a year, you probably have already been through 2 or 3 windshields so far. I can attest to that. So this is a great, great option, especially for these high-end vehicles that takes months to get a hold of these windshields to get them replaced. Windshield protection film is the way to go to prevent that from happening. It's gonna save you money, and it's also gonna save you a lot of time and headache dealing with the dealership on getting that windshield replaced. So Mark has also been working on the paint protection film application. We've already done the compounding stage and the polishing stage on the front end over here. Went ahead and applied the film. As you can see, Nora's gonna bring you in real quick. We've extended the edges like we do on all of our film applications so we can wrap it underneath, and you have a nice seamless finish when it comes to the film application. Vents and things of that nature get removed on certain areas that are applicable, and we also get a nice clean finish of that and wrapping that along and then getting them covered with the trim pieces and accessories. We're pretty much almost done with the film application. Mark is gonna go ahead and finish off the cuts and the edges and get a nice finish to it, and then we're gonna finish restoring the rest of the paint on the rear and doing the private label for Modesta, getting that applied later on tomorrow. And while we're talking about Modesta, let me show you private label real quick. This is a very, very special coating from Modesta. We'll go in the lobby for this one and show you what's going on here. I'm gonna get the door. Nora's gonna get the door behind us. Come on over, come on over. So right over here we got private label from Modesta, and we also have some of our other coating options from like Dr. Beasley's and the other Modesta coating options, the more popular options that we see on a daily basis over here. BC08 being our most popular, followed by nano resin from Dr. Beasley. So this is kind of not standard. These are all very premium coatings. I mean, Modesta regarded as the highest end in the industry, and Dr. Beasley's working their way up there as we speak. But private label from Modesta, of course, is going to be your highest end option on the market. This coating comes in on a small vehicle. I mean, a vehicle like the Ferrari, which we would consider a medium-sized vehicle because of the long hood and everything, you're looking right around that $3,500 mark for an application. This box, these 2 bottles over here, is over $500 to purchase, and you can only be an authorized installer to purchase these products, and we are the only authorized installers in the state of Arizona currently. So first, you got your base coat, of course, the nice, thick, durable layer that's going to provide that depth to the actual coating. And if you look real closely, I don't know if you can focus in on this, see how thick that coating is on the inside? It's not watery. It's almost like molasses. Very similar to Nano Resin Pro right over here, which is, both of these are 100% solid formulas. There are no solvents, there's no excess polymers or waxes in these. It's pure SiO2, TiO2 technology getting layered on your vehicle. Super thick, some of the thickest coatings on the market, Nano Resin Pro being the thickest on the market, coming in at over 10 microns thick with the NSP line. and builder, but private label is very similar as well when it comes to thickness. From there, we go ahead and apply the base coat, which is a pretty difficult application. Like I said, it's like molasses, so you have to work very small sections, very temperamental when it comes to wiping it off and stuff like that. And then you have the top coat. Now this is going to be infused with inorganic and organic substances to go ahead and top the base layer of the coating and provide it more hydrophobic action, slickness, and even more gloss and shine. Now, something that a lot of people don't know is that ceramic on its own is not very slick. It's actually pretty tacky. That's why things like 100% solid formulas like Modesta, like Dr. Beaslesy's Nano Resin Pro over here, they have a really tacky feel after application. Even after they're done curing, they're not as slick as some other coatings on the market. Why is that? Like I said, ceramic is not slick in its natural format. That's why we have different toppers like Advanced Coat Gloss and also the top coat that comes with the private label right over here to go ahead and add that slickness. Now, slickness does not mean more ease of cleaning or stays cleaner longer. It's just a feeling, guys. You shouldn't be touching your car anyways, and most of those coatings on the market that do have a lot of slickness to them, typically that is a wax or sealant that's infused in that ceramic coating is providing that slick feel, not the ceramic itself. So we're gonna work our way over to the Nissan GTR. First thing I wanna point out to you guys, look up. You're probably thinking, what are those big things hanging down off the ceiling? I think I talked a little bit about this before, but those are our new air filtration systems. We're basically trying to make this thing into a clean room. Now, detailing in general is not clean work. It's pretty dirty work at the end of the day. And especially when we're doing film and stuff like that, we want to make sure we eliminate or minimize as much contamination as possible. That's why we have $3,000 worth of air filtration systems set up over here. And we're also getting a clean room installed where the Camaro is over here, so we don't run into any issues when it comes to PPF, vinyl, window tinting, and things of that nature. Now, please do remember, we live on planet Earth. We've been to some of the best shops in the world, everything from areas like LA, California, Orlando, Austin, Houston, Texas, shops that push out millions and millions of dollars worth of cars per week, sometimes even per day. And even those shops have contamination issues. And I remember visiting one with a very rare Bugatti Chiron and seeing little specks of contamination underneath the film. Now, is that acceptable? That's really up to the business and also the customer at the end. But at the end of the day, we do have to remember, this is planet Earth, there's dust, there's grime, and we can only do so much in our ability to prevent that type of thing, but we do our best in order to do that. So let me bring you guys into Nissan real quick. Ian right now is working on a two-step correction on the Nissan. It's black paint, it's a little bit harder, so we're being just slightly more aggressive with it. You already saw that kind of what we like to call rip it and tip it technique that Ian was doing right there. That's to build a little bit more heat in that surface so we can go ahead and cut through the defects. Now, after the defects are removed, we're gonna go ahead and finish off the surface with the second stage of the polishing stage, and then you get a nice brand new finish after that. So Ian is using a wool pad right now. He's also using Coach Chemi. We typically don't use traditional polishing products, but since this vehicle is going to get a full paint protection film application, we're going to avoid using our NSP line because we don't want the ceramic to adhere on the surface and prevent the paint protection film from bonding. Now, let's say we were doing correction prior to coating application. We would use our NSPs, or nano surface primers, to get that paint ready for the coating application. But again, because we're laying down PPF won't be able to properly bond with NSPs underneath it because of the slickness and also the adhesion of the ceramic and titanium dioxide from the NSPs. So while we're talking about correction, let's talk about proper lighting, right? You can see we have a lot of different types of lights around the shop, everything from the frosted LEDs that we have on the walls that are perfect for coating application. We could see exactly where we applied coating and where we are removing coating, and if there's any excess or any type of high spots, so we prevent that. But then we also have our paint correction lighting. These are scan grips. We also have some different halogen lights over here that work great when it comes to paint correction. But these ones specifically is what we like using. We have two sets of these, and essentially they have color temperatures and heat temperatures, so we have an exact temperature for each color of vehicle. Different colors of light will show different things on a vehicle. We want to make sure we find all the defects on the car before we start correcting and while we're correcting as well. So it's mandatory for our technicians to have these lights set up on each side that they're working, plus alongside with our handheld lights as well, so they can get into more intricate areas of the vehicle at different angles and find even more defects during the correction process. Lighting is crucial when it comes to correction. You want to make sure you can see what you're trying to remove. If you can't see it, you don't know what to remove at the end of the day, so it's very important. Now, looking at the Camaro, you can see another perfect example of how our technician Mark has removed the vents on the hood and other trim pieces around the vehicle, so we can make sure we can get that film laid underneath these vents, so when these vents are back on, you don't see any type of material, you don't see any kind of seam lines or anything of the sorts. Now, this vehicle is going to get a full body paint protection film, so every single painted surface on this vehicle is going to get covered with PPF, so the customer's not going to have to worry about scratches, chips, swirl marks, things of that nature. It has a ceramic self-healing top coat, so if she does scratch it, it's just going to heal in the heat. So this car is pretty much going to stay looking perfect for the 10 plus years the film is on the surface of the vehicle. Not only that, we're also going to be doing our Damascus fashion film on the lowers of the vehicle, and also doing a red accent around the side skirts as well to match the rest of the vinyl on the vehicle as well. And follow me into the break room real quick. I want to show you guys something real quick. Going back in the lobby first. Let me show you an example of the Damascus. So this is our Damascus paint protection film. Exactly like traditional paint protection film, but it has this beautiful design to it. When this design is in the light, it shimmers like crazy. Let me go ahead and pull up my light real quick. Show you guys. Yeah, it's beautiful. And it almost looks like an oil slick. It has like some blues and greens and oranges and reds in there when it's in the sun. And it looks crazy on a car. So we're doing all the lower side skirts and the front splitter and the rear diffuser in this Damascus film, just to give it a little bit more accent on the Camaro. But then we also have our tinted films for headlights and taillights. We have 30%, and then we also have 50%. Typically, we recommend 50 because that's the legal limit here in Arizona. And then we also have our traditional paint protection film in 60s, 48s, 30s, 72s. We have a lot of 72 rolls that's right behind you over there. Our 72 roll in our storage, and that's super important for those large hoods. The rear ends on Corvette C8s, we do a lot of Corvette C8s. We get about 1 or 2 of them every week at least, and it requires a 72. If you try doing a rear end on a Corvette with a 60, you're gonna have a lot of stretch. So before I got so rudely interrupted by the camera overheating on us, what I was saying was you wanna make sure with certain types of vehicles on larger surface areas that you're using a 72-inch film roll. There are a lot of companies out there that don't have access to 72-inch film rolls from the manufacturer, so what they would do is they stretch a 60-inch roll to fit an area that requires a 72. What does that do? It reduces the gloss and shine of the film, it creates stretch and adhesive marks, and most importantly, it reduces the protection because you're taking an 8 or a 10-inch mil film, excuse me, not inch, mil film, and stretching it to 6, 5, 4 mils and reducing the clarity and the protection that the film is going to be able to provide you. So when you're going to get quotes, when you're trying to talk to different shops in the area, make sure that if you do have a large hood, if you do have a large section area of the vehicle that's probably going to need a 72, ask, are you using a 72? If they say no, they're using a 60, you might want to make sure to call elsewhere. So these are all little things to take in consideration when it comes to picking a detail shop or a paint protection film shop and taking care of your vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and finish off this vlog video, guys. We had a lot of content so far, showed you what's going on today and what's been going throughout the week from previous as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed, learned something new, had a little bit of fun with us and the team, and we will see you guys following week.